Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Joining me today is CJ Gibson.
What's up?
Fran Mirabella.
Hey, Guardians.
And Sean Finnegan.
Chomp chomp.
Now, if you're listening to the audio version, thank you so much. And if you would be so kind, please leave us some love in the form of a review. On today's show, we'll be discussing our take on all the new raids now that we've played all of them, discuss the patch notes, and the positive and potential negatives of the game coming to PC. First, the news. In Destiny 2 news, we only have one tidbit to go along with the fact that the big reveal is coming on May 18th. Apparently, GameStop will be receiving new in-store marketing materials as early as next week. Hopefully it's something new so we can speculate the day away. In Destiny 1, the final raid, Wrath of the Machine, has been released at 390 Lite. Bungie did note in their weekly update that you will still have to complete the 380 version should you want to complete the Rise of Iron book. Bungie also released a patch to address those pesky notifications that kept popping up and the endless Trials of Osiris matches. Everything should be running a little bit smoother now. That's it for this week, but be sure to keep your eyes on IGN.com for all your Destiny 2 news before the big reveal. Now, let's talk about raiding. All the raids are out. We've all played all of them. What do you guys think of the remastering of the raids?
Good. Need more armor drops.
Yes, armor drops have been
weapons.
stingy.
Yeah.
Before the show, I went through to see if I got a complete set on anybody. Nope.
Yeah.
So we've all
you
not
have
missed
free
a
warlocks.
raid, right? Like everyone's done them on all their characters since they've been coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've only ever gotten one armor piece. It's the Will Breaker's Fists from the Crota raid.
Yep.
And I got the ornament as well, and they look really awesome. But frankly, it's not as cool without the whole set.
Yeah.
And it seems like, I mean, I've done the raid, I've done the Crota now twice, one for each character. And I've done all the other raids as well, and that's the only armor piece I've gotten. It seems very weighted towards weapons. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
So I've gotten almost all the weapons. There's only
Yeah.
one I don't have now. And that's Vision and Confluence. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Vision and Vex Mythoclast. I cannot get Vex to drop.
right. Yeah, no,
I've
no.
ran it every week. Ran Vault every single week.
Wow.
Still hasn't dropped. What about you, Fran?
So when I ran Vault, I didn't get any armor whatsoever,
I ran
which
it
was
yesterday.
shocking.
I got armor materials.
That was only once. So like I just played the new raids. I played Crota several times. I played Vault of Glass. I guess it was twice because we played for fun after. But anyway, I didn't get any armor drops whatsoever, and that was surprising. And I was kind of remembering, going through all the various balances to RNG, and like you got to look at it two ways, right? It's like you just couldn't get Praetorian foil before. Kratos timepiece was rare. Vex was rare.
Brian Malkowitz got two of those.
Right?
Yeah,
And now, I played on the first raid through Crota's End. I got 2 Fang of Ear Utes.
Yeah.
And so something I think is going on with the balance.
And
And
you
you
got a ton of legendaries.
you probably remember with King's Fall as well, right? The Ghost. Huge, like hugely, or a small drop rate.
Yeah.
So that was a huge issue, though.
got 30 of those.
Yeah, they had to adjust it. I think that's what's going on, if you want my personal opinion. I think they've got balancing to do, and they just haven't got to it yet.
Vault of Glass seems like it has year one drop rates, basically, where everything was super hard to get. For me, anyway. That's been my
No, but the weapons are super high drop rate. Meaning, just think
Weapons
about it.
are
Like,
high
You've
drop
got all
rate.
the weapons, like
Talking
seriously.
about armor.
Yeah.
Armor seems like it's the
Armor,
same.
yeah.
But certain weapons, none of us have Vex, right?
No.
No.
And so Vex is kind of like the fate bringer of that one. Like I don't have that. I don't have Vex.
Like
I don't
Fatebringer
have-
used to be, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well,
Maybe.
Exactly.
I don't think it's that bad.
No, it took you a while to get that. So
Vex is sort of like Galahorn. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not that powerful this time.
No.
But still, it's hard to get.
And
It's
it's
a
an exotic
vanity
weapon
item,
you
yeah.
want. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, and same thing for me. I don't have any of the armors at all. Bummer. But
Full sets, you mean?
well, no, I got one cloak. I think for the hunter.
you hardly got
that was it.
anything.
Yeah. it's
Wow,
crazy.
that's all?
That's it. Tons of weapons and lots of the same legendary and exotic version. So Fang of Ear Ute, legendary exotic, Abyss Defiant, legendary exotic. But it's weird that that's about it. There's a lot I'm missing though. So
It sounds like
Looking at my analysis paper here, everybody is missing 2 pieces. Everybody's gotten their class items for Vault, but like Titan's missing helmet and arms, Hunter is missing arms and chest, Warlock's missing chest and boots.
And you've played a lot, though.
Yeah, I've done it every single week. Vault is my favorite raid, and I want that full set on one of my characters. I have 30 ornaments like ready to go.
Yeah.
But I don't want to cash them in, especially if I'm going to get double rolls and it's going to be a higher roll.
sure.
A lot of people on my raid team are like, dude, Destiny 1, like your stuff isn't transferring
Yeah.
over. Don't worry about it. But I'm like,
Nah.
but I'm going to get those double drops. Like I might as well
I'd wait.
have something to play. Yeah.
You have 30 ornaments, though. I think you have plenty.
Easy.
Like,
What am I gonna do? Put them on something, then delete that
I
armor?
know you want a perfect set on each character. Is what you're saying. So across
I
all
just
the
want
different raids.
once I get a complete set, yeah, I'm gonna cash them in.
Okay. Meaning you'll accept whatever role you get then. But
Basically.
until then, you'd rather wait out just to see if you get a better helm.
Some
or
I mean, the armor isn't transferring over. So let's be honest. The reason we're all trying to collect the full set is so that we can screenshot that and put it on our Twitters
Yep,
and look really
exactly.
cool because
Yeah,
it's all going away.
Well,
It's not worth it unless you have the full set.
but that's not totally true. Like, well, meaning like
You
it
play
is.
with this armor?
Well, yeah, you are right. So like, it's nice to get whatever max intellect or whatever. But what if you want to show it off in Crucible? It's definitely worth
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
PvP gear.
The Titan
I
back
use
thing,
PvP
we call that Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi.
Oh, really? Nice. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I know I see you in dim every time I walk by. I was like, oh, Destin's managing, like, make sure
Yeah.
everything is perfect. But
I did 3 raid runs last night. Delete this,
manage.
duplicate. Yeah.
I just want the armor. I'm less concerned about the stats. It's cool to just have it. You know, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, Destiny 1's going away in a few months, and yeah, it's neat to have it. But yeah, I'm not so concerned about getting the exact best role like you.
Well,
Still like 5 months
I'm just
away, by the
saying.
way.
I'm just saying. I don't have a full set yet, so I'm gonna get duplicate drops, right?
So you might as well maximize.
So I'm like, well, I'm gonna delete the worst drop.
yeah.
Yes.
Why would I put an ornament on a
makes
thing I
sense.
know I'm gonna delete?
I agree with you. Like, if you're not in a hurry to show it off, like Sean's saying, like, yeah, you might as well
Yeah,
wait.
I want to show it off.
Okay.
I haven't
probably
gotten
have enough.
anything.
Wants
though.
to show off the
Destin,
whole
You're
thing.
going to get more ornaments. So
I'm not gonna get a full set.
yeah, I know, but meaning you already have a stack of ornaments. Don't you think you're going to earn more as you now continue to play?
Sure, I'll just delete 10 of them.
Exactly.
I guess that's what I'll do.
Exactly. But yeah, I would say on the overall, going back to it, honest commentary though, I was super stoked to play Crota Zen and Vault because I hadn't played them in years. Like legitimately just hadn't really gone back.
Crota is great. It's like a 20-30 minute run. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
I
actually
really
forget
like
how
Crota.
short it is.
Yeah.
By the time you get to the bridge, like it's almost over.
Wrath is short too. Yeah, Crota's even shorter than Wrath, but Wrath, if you get all the right team in there that's rehearsed, is not too long either. But I knew it. I know. I was thinking about
No, it was rough.
I saw you were like,
You have some trouble there or something?
Yeah, we had a little bit of struggle on the final encounter. Everything else was fine. Then we got to that final encounter, and we just
Axis,
couldn't
man.
gel as a team.
you were doing the challenge though, right?
Yeah, doing the challenge where
It happens.
you have to empower everybody first and then slam on his back.
I just wanted to see if you'd looked at the camera because I kind of jumped
Yeah.
in and I normally interact with people in the chat and I was like, hey, I was going to say hi. And then I was like, oh, they're wiping again. Yeah. Maybe I just won't say anything.
I saw you were there for a while.
Everyone knows that feeling. Like before I left for Austin on assignment for IGN, I tried to get a King's Fall raid in real quick, done just before the reset, and some random on my friends list. He's on my friends list, but we don't play all the time. He's like, hey, you want to do a raid? And I was like, why not? It's randoms. It's King's Fall. We've all done this before. I looked, everyone was 400 and stuff. So I was like, why not? And we spent like 3 hours on Golgoroth, and I was like,
yeah.
Oh no.
yeah, I should have.
Until your team gets the mechanics
Challenge?
down well and everybody understands it, like it can be a struggle.
They had a weird strat too. Like it was a strat I've never done before, and it was meant to like be like so simple and executable that anyone who could do it, or anyone who has half a brain could do it. It still took us a long time.
Do they do one orb bridge? Like one orb and the other people on the bridge?
Yes.
That's super easy.
So I've never done that until I just did it with my crew, and I got to give shout out to Stev, Mountain Man, and a couple others. They called it the lunch line. That was the name of it, the lunch
not a
line
bad-
strat.
yeah.
And it's like, you just go in behind, you shoot, and then you go, and the next person goes. So
Yeah, like
it's pretty easy.
My
when
raid
you
crew's
actually get
never
the hang
done
of
it that way. I mean, it's more effective to do like damage phase on 1 and 6 orbs, but like it's harder to do. So I get why if it's like a pickup group. All I'm saying is like everyone's had that group before where it's like for some reason something's going wrong. You haven't played with each other, like it's not gelling, and you just spend your like an hour or two like beating
That's
your
why
head
it's
against the wall.
It's hard. I was just gonna say you kind of do. I don't know if you had a clear leader of the group. That is where it gets tricky. But you kind of need that person who's like at some point you're like.
quarterback.
I got 2 pieces of paper in my hand, and one is a promotion to the next phase of the raid, and the other, you're fired. And like I hate to say, but like I wouldn't do exactly that, but like
Yeah, you would.
meaning it's maybe I would.
100%.
At some point though, you have to. You are the weakest link. It is kind of a thing.
cut from the
but
team.
That's what I've found about the raid. And granted, everybody's different. Like sometimes you're just tired, you know.
Yeah.
But you kind of got to figure out the problem and take that step back without. And this is the hard part too. Destin knows without raging out. out while you're trying to figure it out, and basically it erupts in an argument. And you're like, guys, I'm trying to just like get us to the next thing because in a raid, everybody's right.
Table.
That's the hardest part. So you have a
so
team that everybody's right,
And that's the thing is you have to be able to own up to your mistakes. Like I'll be the first one in that same raid. While I whine about Golgoroth, I messed up on War Priest. I usually don't carry the aura because I do a lot of dips. But they needed me to do it this time, so I did it. And I remember, on one or two occasions, the ads, they just hid. They disappeared. I ran out of time and I killed myself. So it happens, but
I will say this. I'm kind of a type B personality, even on Fireteam chat. I joke that I'm with a lot of type A's, and so it's funny when I watch and tune into your guys' streams, because I don't stream. I'm probably going to start doing this here at the end of the month, but it's always funny because our stream is just super calm. We're like, hey, how you doing? Not bad. What are you doing later today? And we're just playing Golgoroth, and it's like everybody's.
How many other
beating him,
Canadians do you play with?
Well, that's the thing. There's 3 of them, I think. So that might be true, actually. So,
the Canadians.
there is some merit to that. I think, like Bilzak and I can't remember. There's a few other ones.
Destin's part Canadian, so it doesn't quite hold up. Something's wrong.
Theory debunked. But no, it is funny.
Came to America too young.
Too early for Destiny. But it is weird, the temperament of people when you're playing the games. It's kind of fun.
You know what though? Like actually, with my main raid crew I play with, I do take more of a backseat. You've watched me play. Well, because they play it so much more than me. That actually, for those of you out there, I know there's some who are like, "Be quiet, Fran. You have such a loud voice on the show." And like, I get it. On the show, I like to have a really strong opinion, type A. But actually, in the raids and on my streams, I'm like super chill.
When you're at the table, we're at the table. Of course, we're gonna have strong opinions. Like, you want us to all just be here, like, "Oh, I kind of agree with you." Like, that's not interesting to watch. But I'm the same way. Like, shout out to Orbs for my bros and Bodum Reaper. They know way more about Destiny than I do. I can just be like, "Yo, guys, what do you think about this?" And then they tell me everything I need to know. And I'm like,
Sherpas, man.
cool.
It was so fun because I've been streaming a lot this week, and everybody who's the regular, they're like, oh yeah, okay, we know Destiny's gonna rage on the raid, right? But then the new people who had been stopping by, they're like, oh man, I love this stream. It's so chill. You're just so calm all the time.
Yeah.
And everyone else in chat is there all the time. They're like,
Destiny
wait for the raid.
There should be a fuse at the top that's like.
Champ talks about his TV.
Oh, it's great. I wish I recorded for
Xavier Wipes again.
I sat next to you. I still sit close to you, but I sat next to you for 2 years while we were doing main Destiny
Vault.
coverage, and I could just like, you'd try and be quiet, but you were right behind me, and you could just be like, I could hear the frustration in your voice. Guys, this is so easy. Just pick it up. You guys are so bad. And like, I can feel the rage building in your voice. It was great.
He's gotten so much better.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, man.
It is fun. I will say the other neat thing was, just having different type of your 3 things, like your tether and all that stuff. I tethered Atheon. That's what I'm trying to say. And so that was weird.
He was so excited.
I was super excited. I was like, whoa, I've never done this before. And he dies in like 60 seconds.
You can do it in 2 rounds pretty easy. Do you
That
ever do it
corrective
in 1?
measure.
No, not in 1. Atheon, you can do in
People
1.
are saying Dark Drinker him for his stationary phase, and you can do him in 1 phase.
You can easy phase one him if you're all using sleepers. Also, the trick is you can tether over and over again.
Yes.
It recharges instantly.
Yeah.
So like, as long as you
So you tether once, you do like a clip, you tether again.
Yeah, someone pointed that out to me. They were like, "Why aren't you tethering multiple times?" And I was like, "I tethered the first time." They're like, "Oh, but it recharges instantly." And I was like, "Oh," and then we one-shotted him easy.
Because that's what I was thinking. What other big year kind of 2 weapons were not around for that? I mean,
Sleeper, obviously, yeah.
And then what else?
You were saying Dark Drinker?
Yeah, Dark Drinker wasn't around for all the raids.
Right.
Some, like Wrath, it was there for Wrath, but it wasn't there for Oryx, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, it was there for Oryx. Yeah.
Which weapon?
Dark Drinker.
Exotic sword.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so
Wasn't there for Crota, so you run in, you can kill the Death Singer in
you
like
could do
a
that.
second. If you don't
You can
want to do
also one-shot Crota.
Yeah, one hit.
Razor
Crota,
Riders,
yeah. So just seeing those kind of strats and actually doing it in that moment, it was super weird. I was like, oh right, I have a different power weapon to actually use in this raid. So
I love going back to the old raids and just like
super
trouncing people that like used to give you a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
It was cool
feels
because
empowering.
like I remember I got back into when we did King's Fall again. I thought it was cool when I leaned so heavily on my Galahorn, like I think most people do. But rockets are not good in that raid. Like, you want a good machine gun. So I remember
In which one?
in King's Fall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you want machine guns mostly. And I remember being like, I'm going to pull out that old Thunderlord and bring it back to life. And it's so cool. It's good.
It's fun revisiting the old weapons and the old. What do you guys think of the challenges though? So Vault of Glass Oracle's a little shorter. The challenges shooting all the oracles. That's fine. Wrath, the challenges are the same. Oryx, the challenges are the same. And Crota.
And no, they introduced. Well, the sword stuff was one of the big new things. It's not a challenge. But I like that they redesigned a few. So yeah, sorry if it's not about redesign.
Teleport,
right. But if it's about the challenges, I felt like Crota's was the best put together of the older stuff. And Vault, it was good, but not like.
Wait, sorry. What's the challenge on Crota?
Crota is you have to kill everything and then kill the Death Singer with the sword.
Oh, no, but he was saying for Crota, then for
For Crota, it's everybody has to use a sword once.
You can't drop
basically,
the sword.
But basically, as long as you kill him quickly, then you can get through it with 3 people.
The thing is, you can
no one person can use the same sword twice. It's basically that,
okay,
right?
Cool.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, the challenges. My complaint about the challenges, at least this time around, is most of the time they haven't affected our normal strategy enough to really change it up for me. So oftentimes I'm not even aware of the challenge.
Because you're already doing it.
Yeah, we were already doing it, right? But I was going to say, the one challenge I did really like was Atheon on Vault of Glass, where it teleports 3 people, and then you all have to go in regardless, even if you don't get teleported. That was a neat little mechanic. It just involves the people who don't get teleported on the outside a little bit more. I like that. Because before they were just killing supplicants.
You could still, you could have, hopefully, the thing is, it was random, right? You could avoid it, maybe. You couldn't plan on it, but now they force everyone to go in through, which was a good way to do it.
Requires a little bit more communication. Now everyone's responsible for killing an oracle, and you got to kill them in the right order. So you got to make sure you're not shooting them out of order, or if you have oracle number 5, you're not killing the 6th one or the 4th one. It's just kind of a little bit more involved. I like it.
It was good.
Out of all the challenges, I don't know if it's because we got stuck on it for really long that one day, but definitely Wrath of the Machine. I just think the mechanics are a little weird, where you have to explode on one of the 3 squares and then also detonate on its back. The timing's a little strange there.
It involves
a lot of
communication.
And a lot of communication between those double teams,
You also, you're
3 teams. You need a middle, left,
That's what I'm
right.
saying.
So that's the thing is you're problem solving for twice as many spots is because he can teleport to 3 locations besides where he's already at.
4, actually.
I was going to say the problem in the center is right. He goes down low and up top. Remember,
if he teleports front mid, if he teleports
front
front mid,
back,
it's not going to detonate in back. So it'll be left or right. So that's a little bit of a thank you there.
But the point is, it keeps you.
I do have to say one thing. I had a really exciting moment in Wrath. So we ran the really difficult one. We ran a super easy one next after that, and I got Randall the Vandal. He does exist. I couldn't believe it. That is such a rare occurrence that I never thought I would see him.
Well, what was funny, I just happened to tune in to the stream on Fireteam chat when you were playing right then, and actually someone right before made a joke about, hey, I'm going to do this and he'll appear, and you're like, shut up. And then he was right in front of Des. And then oh my God, he's here. And then he's trying to take the screenshot perfectly, with he's selfie with Randall, and the first one was terrible, half of his face, and he made them wait. He kept wiping so he could go back in and get a good photo.
Because Randall one hits you.
But you were like, don't kill him. I want a photo with him.
It was such a neat occurrence. What was to actually see it happen?
Do you remember what the lore behind that was? Was Randall?
So it used to be a glitch in year 1. There was a Vandal in the basement of Cosmodrome that was invisible and you couldn't really kill him, right? And then they brought him back in the raid, but the chance of you getting to see him is
super
incredibly low.
I've seen him before, but how'd they get the name Randall? I don't remember that.
I think it was a Reddit thread. They gave him
Randall
the name Randall.
Because it rhymes, obviously.
We all call the new dude Gary.
Oh, well, that's true. That's a good point.
What's his real? Yeah, but what's his real name? No one.
Gall.
There you go.
Yeah,
Gall. Sorry, Gall.
Because he would have the gall to attack the tower.
Atheons.
There you go. Yeah. Names.
Anyway, overall, definitely enjoying the new raids.
Yeah.
Few frustrating points, but it's mostly about communication.
I wanted to finish my earlier point, which was I really enjoy what they've done. It's all the options are on the table. We just got through all 4 have rolled out now. So after this point, though, the challenge is still rotating, right?
It's going to go back to Crota.
Yeah, until the 6-week period, right? That leads up to basically
all on, right?
the launch. And then I believe they're all on, right?
I'm not sure.
Or was that about, I forgot what the 6-week thing was about. I thought it was about the challenges, not.
I'm not sure, but I know that I can do all of them at 390 right now, but challenge mode is only on for the featured one.
Right. Well, meaning right now it rotates, but regardless, my point was It's nice that all the raids have been rolled out now.
Yeah.
Everything's out there. The only thing is if you're chasing the challenge
Or Vision.
rewards. So yeah.
And you can only get it during featured raid week.
Yeah.
So having said that, before we move on, what's your favorite raid now that you've gotten a chance to play them all back to back to back in this new current iteration?
Okay.
Still Vault of Glass.
Vault Glass is fantastic.
Oh man, I don't know.
You got to pick one.
It's like
for
my
Ed.
favorite children. Which is your favorite child, CJ? You wouldn't
I mean,
name
Wearing
one?
a Vault of
the
Glass
oldest,
shirt.
Just kidding on the two.
True. It's like what character do you
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
most?
What character in raid do you like the
warlocks
most? And
in the
I can't
vault?
figure
The
it
Vault
out.
of Glass emblem is really, really cool too.
It is.
The black
It is,
one
yeah.
with like all the little artifacts.
Oh, I love the Vault. That's
I
one
wear
of my
that all the
favorites.
time. Yeah. That's
Which
so
one
cool.
Come back to
is
me
your
last. Give me a
favorite?
second.
All right.
I mean, I will say I do like the Crota raid. It's one of those things where, looking back, again, it felt really short, but I almost now prefer a short raid overall, which is odd because at first it seems like you're getting gypped like from a content standpoint, but overall that is about like the right length. Like King's Fall almost feels like 2 raids. Not that it's bad, but yeah, I like
is
I like
long.
Crota. It is long.
I'm with you. I think Crota is my favorite due to length and because they changed the bridge mechanic. Everybody loves that bridge segment now.
Super
And
cool.
before it's like, how can we glitch this? And now it's like, oh, let's do the bridge thing.
Yeah.
Because we all get to pick up those swords and kill everybody at the end. And I really like that tweak. I still love Vault of Glass. Vault of Glass is still one of my favorite
Yes.
raids ever. But Crota for length and for fixing a lot of the problems with it.
Yep.
Most of the problems with it.
I also just like the Vex. I think the Vex are cool. I'm
Vex
tired
are
of
a
the
cool
Hive.
enemy.
Wait, did you choose yet, Sean?
Yeah, I said Vault of Glass.
Yeah, waiting on you.
I've just been thinking
Mirabella.
about it. Like I don't. It's again. It's hard to
Choose a
I have
child.
a reason for
The other 3 die.
I have a reason for like Vault for sentiment as well as a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, for the specialty of it, Crota. Now that they've balanced it out, really comes together nice. I love like that dark, enclosed run in the beginning. That like just the way it feels. And then as you like you said, all the other reasons as you progress through it, and even the boss fight, like now really nice use of just kind of what's out there. Where before you used to just stand on the window. So I think that's probably my favorite, but I mean, I really do appreciate that, call it Taken King is so like eclectic. And then like Wrath, like it gets everybody involved and it made sure to do
I love
it.
the look of Wrath.
And
I
Wrath
like how all-
looks
every-
so cool.
I
So-
do really like. It's kind of like in that world what you might call steampunky.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not at all the
what you
aesthetic, but you know what I mean.
I
Like
get
this
that.
mix between like bio and like mechanic is really cool.
Definitely.
Seabified.
So the next topic that we were going to talk about on the show, now that we've talked about raids a little bit, we were going to discuss some of the challenges, challenges on the negative side, but some of the positive parts of Destiny 2 coming to PC. So this actually came from somebody you were chatting with. He
Yeah.
works in the games industry.
Does.
And he brought up some of the pros and cons of Destiny coming to PC. Why don't you lead off this segment?
Yeah, so we were
They're all
just
written on this piece of paper. If
Perfect.
you
Thank
need reference.
you, Destin. Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about some of the things. Obviously, it's good that it's coming to PC, but it introduces tons of challenges from what's the console going to be like? What's the difference between the console and PC? Are there going to be those differences? Patches, updating, will they be the same? Mouse and keyboard. There's just tons of different things. And personally, for me, I would like to believe I'm going to play on PC, but backing away from the console, it's been in my DNA, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Do you mean play on both or you switch?
So
Depends, right?
Depends, exactly. If there's character progression somehow between, like, I don't think there's going to be, you can play against, if you're on PlayStation, you're going to play against Xbox or PC people. I don't think that's going to happen. But could you potentially somehow have your character go between all 3? If that happens, then PC for sure. But I don't know.
Because then you can jump to the
You
console.
mean
if
build
you
a
want.
new Destiny character, say on PlayStation, but then move?
Well, if you were able
Just
to,
like if you're playing one character on PlayStation 4, that progress transfers over. To
do
when
you mean
you're
at any
playing on
time,
Xbox
just
or
progression.
PC,
yeah.
Oh, you were like,
Between all
at
3.
any time, can you just log in?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I
think
doubt
about
that.
it like as an instant standpoint, right? Like when PlayStation, when you log in, if you log in somewhere else, it signs you out of wherever. Imagine if you were able to potentially create your character on PlayStation, get up to level, let's say 40 for all intents and purposes, and then log on to PC with the same username, or there's an option to link it. And then you can choose whether or not you want to carry your progression through or totally start a different character. Right.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah, that would be awesome because then when I want to go to the
Isn't that
lighthouse,
what
I just log on to my PlayStation 4 character,
But isn't that what
close
everybody?
my eyes and just play over there
Because
that
they're
what-
so used to keyboard and mouse.
because it's so much easier.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying, Brian?
I was just gonna say, wait, isn't that what everybody always wanted? But like contractually, usually that's the issue.
Right.
Like you're not gonna get PlayStation servers to talk to Xbox. And
No, but-
you do have Windows 10 at least between.
But if you think about it from a gameplay standpoint, I think that people obviously don't want to play. Like, I don't want to have cross-platform play at all. Like, I don't want to play on
PC.
You don't want to play
versus
PC
console.
players on a console.
Right.
I mean, statistically, it's been proven that you're going to get wrecked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Xbox, PlayStation, whatever it is. If I'm on Xbox, I do not want to play against like PC players. But if there is some way to potentially migrate the account, or I can start on PlayStation and do that, and I mean that's potentially possible.
Well, my
Like,
question was, don't you think they want to do that? And there's just been like, meaning, do you
I mean,
think
I don't
Bungie
know.
never? Because that was my viewpoint. I didn't mean to be like patronizing or anything. It's literally just like, oh, well, I assume they want that, but like,
Yeah.
because it's like a no-brainer. But like, never mind building the support. I think it's like a contractual like between companies
I want to see this game
sharing the data.
on all platforms. I don't think we're going to get the crossplay, like, because you got the Scorpio in the mix, right?
Yes.
You got PC and you got PS4, and all those platforms are exciting for different reasons.
Yeah.
I don't have a PS4 Pro yet. I want to see the enhancements that are going to happen for Destiny 2 on PS4 Pro. PC. I want to see how good it looks on PC. And Scorpio, I don't even know what the Scorpio is yet, so I just want to see how it feels on that platform.
Microsoft console. With
Oh, I've heard of this
powerful than
company.
the Xbox One.
It's actually the most powerful console that's going to be on the market.
Purportedly based on specs.
Reportedly based on
I'm
facts.
just kidding. Specs.
Yeah, true.
No, I
true.
believe.
We haven't
By the
held it
way,
yet.
like
Yeah.
current specs show Scorpio is the most powerful console. I mean, it is more powerful than.
I want to see what Sony's going to do to.
How the
They're
output-
not going to address it probably.
I can't wait,
I don't
but
think they have to.
but I was
They have
gonna
market share. Yeah.
But I was gonna.
So they have exclusive content and stuff. So
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. But anyway,
That's the thing. Is that going to be enough to draw away from the Scorpio enthusiasts and the PC people
What, PlayStation?
to play on PlayStation for that exclusive content? And what is that exclusive content? Is it a gun? Like an exotic gun, then maybe. Or is it a strike or something? Then maybe.
probably be
But if it's
similar to the
something
exclusives,
like
like from
legendary armor, I don't think that's going to be enough.
legendary armor. I mean, it wasn't legendary armor the last couple times.
Yes, it has been. There's legendary exclusives that you can get on PlayStation that don't exist.
there are.
Okay,
Well,
well,
you
as
don't
an
play it, there
Xbox,
are.
yeah, as an Xbox player, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
There was
What
like
I mean
that
is
first
like,
helmet.
Sublime engrams, and those are the exclusives.
what?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I imagine it'll be similar scope to like the year 1 and year 2 sort of exclusives, like a strike, potential like couple of weapons, exotic weapons specifically.
I think they'll
We'll
take
see.
the same type of path they've taken. So yeah, a couple. Look, exotics we know are the coveted thing. So guess what? If PlayStation's going to pay for something, probably exotics are on the list.
Reining it back into the PC conversation, the thing that I thought of immediately and we discussed was what is going to happen about the surprises due to modding on PC.
Right.
Like people are going to be able to take that game and tear it apart, and are we going to lose those surprises? That was my concern.
So yeah, just thinking about how many games Bungie's actually developed for PC that were on console first, like Halo 2 Vista is the only one that I can think of that they really did that with. And so yeah, data mining, hacks, and
That
all
wasn't
those
even
things.
really Bungie.
It was Gearbox. Gearbox made
Yeah,
the
like
port.
Right,
Gearbox
yeah,
did it,
and it was
yeah.
like way after. I mean, I think Halo 3 was almost out at the time.
Yeah.
So just thinking of them bringing it this time at the same time is very surprising, and so yeah, like that to me is the concern. Like Bungie, obviously, I think shied away from doing this the last how many years for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And now that they're bringing it to PC at the same time as console, it'll be interesting to see if they actually have some of those challenges.
Look at
right?
this.
What is the
Look at the
challenge
Grand Theft
exactly?
Auto mods. Look at the Street Fighter
Well,
mods.
just mods and
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
every
The mods,
time they introduce DLC, even on the OG Xbox. Notice how I did that? Not Xbox One. Halo 2, they had problems like with action replay and people downloading hacks. There was always some kind of issue whenever you got the content off of the hard
PC
drive.
you worry
market's
about
better
hacks.
about that stuff right now.
Yes, they are. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
potentially worried about hacks, and that's why I think Bungie is as
Worry
well.
about lag
right?
switching on consoles. you
That
know,
kind of
like-
stuff too. Some of the other things that Belzak was actually talking about too, or even just potentially how it affects the game, like macros and maybe being able to switch weapons faster by having
that stuff's
scripts and stuff
good.
like
That's
that.
what I'm saying. That is like
is.
the
It's-
reason to. It's going to be a different environment.
And so that's the thing. Like,
144 frames a second. If you
yeah,
want,
exactly. It's not bad, but definitely there are going to be things where I think there's going to be a lot of things that creeps up in the PC versus console debate that are things we're not even really sure of right now because they're going to affect gameplay pretty dramatically. And you might gravitate towards one or the other based
So, but
on
do
the
you?
stuff that can
I think that's what I was trying to understand. You think that the PC influence might affect the entire design? Is what you're saying?
Well, yeah, depending, right? And that's the thing. Without
It becomes the
knowing-
most popular platform.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
so
great point.
like this is a super inside baseball example, but like back in the day when I played World of Warcraft as a Death Knight, you had a little ghoul that was like your
Gary?
you had like a undead ghoul that could like walk around and attack people. It was like your pet, right? And one of the things you could macro in as a Death Knight to kill other Death Knight's pets was this little macro that would target automatically and cast a spell at it. You didn't have to do anything. You would just click it, and it would auto target. It would run a command that would auto target this thing, shoot one of your spells at it, and hit it. I could think
You
of
would kill
PC
other people's pets?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, man.
If you didn't, it was just going to sit there attacking you, interrupting your spells.
They're already undead, weren't they?
But like the point is, I could definitely see PC players getting into the code of Destiny and changing creating
Weapon
macros
balance
to
and
make
stuff like that.
more, not weapon balance because you
Okay.
can't change the weapon specifically, but writing these scripts that allow you to make better use and more or use weapons more efficiently. So like for instance a Plan C, right? When you switch to it, it auto fires really a lot faster on that first shot. Think if you wrote a script that all you had to do was press a button and it would swap your weapons, fire the first shot and swap back, and all you had to do instead of
Yeah,
three
you can set a
commands,
mouse.
Yeah.
it's just a roll wheel. Like
That stuff is going to get picked up in multiplayer, though. I mean, there's tools out there that Bungie already has that can
that's-
recognize.
No, but that's
things like
CJ's
that.
point is like, if that becomes a dominant strategy and it makes Plan C way more efficient than it was intended, then that could potentially affect Bungie's design of that very weapon across the board.
That's a good point.
That's kind of what he's getting
Yeah,
at.
because if you think about
There's unforeseen potential in that kind of market.
Yes.
You know,
That's gonna be a challenge for
They're able
sure.
to compare that data with the other platforms. This is a great point, but at least they should be able to see, call it the anomalies.
Sure, but then does it lead to, okay, now PC's independently balanced versus
right.
Xbox?
What do you think Bungie's going to do, though, based on what they normally do?
I think they're
They've
gonna,
never done this PC
I think they're
strategy
potentially going to independently balance
Really?
them. Yeah, I mean, because if there's certain things that are dominant on PC and the
like,
game
what if
is
it's
a totally
vicarious
different
doing PC?
strategy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If it is, you're right. If it has a support from the PC dev, and they're willing to make it focused on all, call it what the pros are. You know, look at it from the positive side. There's a lot you can do with PC, and that crowd's going to play it differently.
100%.
So maybe you do need to balance it for that.
I want to see the mods. I want to see the crazy stuff people are going to do. Are you going to have a gun that shoots Randall Vandals? You know, something like that.
Randall.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Are you going to get the portal gun in there somehow?
that
You know,
kinda
they've done
stuff-
some crazy stuff with GTA.
I
so.
mean, you're totally right, but that requires GTA is a little bit more. That's different because I don't see Bungie granting PC players access to the code.
they won't, but
right?
they didn't for Mortal Kombat either. And people did some really fun stuff with Mortal Kombat X.
People will figure it out, but
Yeah.
But again, all that stuff's optional. It's not like it shows up in your core game.
Yeah.
No, but it's just that
hacks
thought of
could,
like
That's what I
those
mean.
of us who like to min max, like the thought of knowing that there's a more efficient way of doing something. That kind of I don't know if I like that.
I'm not saying it as a bad thing.
choice, though,
I'm saying I can't wait for the modder community to like let me control the camera, like let me detach my camera and fly it around and make, and it'll allow for a machinima, people to make better user
At
movies.
least when you're
super
dead,
cool.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Can
I
you do
think
that in private matches?
You can sort of like hack it right now with the sword. You can go like no HUD, and you can
HUD-less.
go
Like even in your own created private match, you can't just
No, you can't
separate your
detach.
camera.
no, yeah, there is no tool. Like, and
Yeah.
I know you're thinking like, oh, I never really looked for it. It's not there.
It's
not
crazy.
there.
Yeah,
I mean,
'cause
I haven't
it's-
really used private matches on that.
Yeah, because Halo 3, like probably the most complete version of that was like Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
You can't even spectate.
It was one of those things, yeah, where you could finish the round, go back, and take the camera anywhere. And even
Fly
Halo
around.
3, yeah.
Gears
fly
of War
around.
did it.
Halo, you can do
Yeah,
that.
and so it
In
was
Halo
weird.
3, you can do that.
I think we'll get spectating in Destiny.
Forge mode.
I don't know if off the bat, but
These are
I think
tools
it
that
will go there.
Bungie invented.
I know.
yeah, which is
I know,
crazy,
right?
right?
I mean, I would love to see that. I don't know if they will actually make that as a functional feature in it. It'd be great if they did.
Think about this.
The only reason why I don't think so
think
is
they will.
because, yeah, a lot of that infrastructure they've done before. I don't know why they took it out of Destiny in the first place. But
It had to be like a limitation.
Let me
okay.
Let me say this. I know that Bungie is Bungie, and so meaning Bungie, they're the creative artists in control of what they make. I mean, that's been made clear, but Activision is a very big part of this game, and who owns the MLG? Activision. And who has Call of Duty esports division?
Yeah.
Activision. And what is Bobby Kodak's most important next endeavor, basically, is esports. It's one of the biggest things out there. I'm not saying...
What are their top two franchises?
Yeah.
Call
And
of
so-
Duty and this little game Destiny.
That's right. And exactly. So I'm not saying, no, I know what everybody's thinking. I don't know that it's going to be an esport, and that's a different discussion. But at the very least, you'd think that these tools and feeling that out are going to be there. Maybe more leaderboard stuff, tiers, all the above.
I would love that.
yeah.
I mean, there was
That'd be
nothing
awesome.
cooler than after the end of like Halo 3 going in and getting that perspective on the camera. You're like, yeah, and you look at your snipe from 50 different angles.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool.
The
Oh,
final,
the Halo 3 replays were like, look at that. Did you see that grenade thing I got
my
in that
God,
last
yeah.
match? I want to rewind
So-
and watch it again.
and-
There's great clips from Halo 3 where people hurl
Still,
a grenade
today.
and 5 minutes later they get a kill. And you have to go look. You have to go look.
find
and it's
where it
like
was, yeah.
The grenade, you lock onto the grenade and it's flying across the map, lands in an elevator, gets thrown up, lands on another grenade, gets
Rube
exploded,
Goldberg, yeah.
shot across the map and sticks someone on the head.
It's a road cone. The road cone goes flying and kills somebody. That was in Halo 3.
Yeah,
That
totally.
was a trophy, I think.
And Reach did that really well as well
Yeah.
too in their
I
Forge.
mean, really, all the Halo games, because of Bungie, like those tools exist, and it's way, I don't know, it's way more involved for the players, and it allows for people to do way more outside of the game as far as content creation goes. Like there are people who make their names off making montages instead of playing, and like, I think that's super cool.
Yeah,
Definitely cool.
And I was just gonna finish that point with the other like obvious. Oh, and guess what? One of the hottest new shooters on the scene is
Counter-Strike.
Overwatch,
Oh, yeah.
Blizzard, Activision.
Yeah.
So anyway, esports aside, I just would hope that you've got to imagine they met and talked is all I'm saying. So whatever the next
know.
Call
Do
of
you think
Duty
they
is, I don't think they talk as much as we think they do. Like, Sledgehammer's busy with Call of Duty, Bungie's busy with their game, and Blizzard's busy with Overwatch, but
They put their foot in the water
they
with
have
these
powwows.
private matches,
Yes.
and they actually did a mini tournament amongst like some of the higher level Destiny players. So with Red Bull, remember they did the Red
Yes.
Bull
Yeah,
sponsored
yeah.
thing with Rift's reveal. So they're talking about it.
But
in the esports genre.
But I'd love to see it go towards esports. We've had the discussion whether or not it's right for it, but the very least the tools, man, like some leaderboards, some spectating. We all as a community want it regardless of whether it's an esport.
What's interesting is private matches are there. I haven't seen anybody really harness them that much.
Well, it's because of some of these issues, I think. Like, it's just hard. It's a little hard to set up a private match. I mean, you can't just like set up a really easy, call it tournament, opt in, and just have people like joining and rotating through it. Or
if only they
Or
had
like if you're-
dedicated servers.
So there was the next question.
Yeah.
That was the last thing that we were talking about. And he was like, will it have dedicated servers across all game modes? Like maybe not. Maybe it just might be dedicated servers for specific game modes. Like, and if it's not,
what if PC is the only one that gets
what if PC
dedicated?
is the
Oh my
only
God.
dedicated servers?
God,
Yeah,
that's
and so
the
that's like a
worst.
legitimate concern, right? It's like that might happen, and you don't know because it's a possibility, right?
Why wouldn't they?
A lot of bandwidth, a lot of infrastructure. It costs a lot.
They have it.
Activision.
It's seriously,
know,
it's
but
their number
that's
2
the
property.
issue.
It's
I
their
know.
number 2 property. So I think with Destiny 1, they were like, we're not sure. Destiny 2, they're like, oh yeah, you did fine. Like, let's get those dedicated servers.
I really hope they have dedicated servers. It would bum me out as an Xbox player or a console player in general if my platform was not getting the treatment that
dedicated servers on
offer.
everything but
Well, if it-
Scorpio. Or dedicated servers only on
Exclusive to PS1.
But if it came to if PC happened to have that support, shame on Microsoft, who has one of the largest.
They're the PC.
They have so many servers out there. The whole cloud computing. Like they have so much at their disposal.
So here's the thing: is like it is not unrealistic that if PC gets dedicated servers, that Xbox
That's what
will
I'm
as well,
saying.
and not PS4.
That's what I'm saying. It
because
could
they can
happen.
and Phil Spencer's been very outspoken about making sure that games kind of have a new within the Xbox/PC ecosystem, they have this kind of parity.
Yeah.
Like they're seeing similar features. They're building the Xbox OS into PCs going forward. Like that's interesting.
Definitely really exciting. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Or you can call in at speakpipe.com/fireteamchat to tell us what you think about Destiny 2 coming to PC. We do have one more small note quick. Call of Duty World War II has officially been announced. A worldwide reveal live stream is happening Wednesday, April 26th at 9:45 a.m. Pacific, 12:45 p.m. Eastern. IGN will even be doing our own pre-show for the Call of Duty event, followed by a deeper analysis into the game afterward. So make sure you tune in to that. If you are a Call of Duty fan, CJ, you're producing it, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it looks hopefully the World War II side of Call of Duty will be fun. I mean, I have been a Call of Duty player over the years. The whole boots on the ground thing, people miss. There's a lot of futuristic flying and a lot of gadgets from the last few Call of Duties that were good, but it made it a little less approachable.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of back towards the olden days of Call of Duty. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see
where it goes. Yeah.
I hope there's a horse.
Exactly.
Probably not in multiplayer.
Horses weren't that big in World War II, were they?
Battlefield 1, they were big.
It's World War I now, right?
Next
Time. Bring them back. Bring back the old horses. Yeah. Let them have one more run at it.
You want to be riding around on Seabiscuit while everyone's blowing you with a
He wants his one last hurrah.
dropping bombs on you.
Dude, it was awesome in Battlefield 1. What are you
Horse
doing?
is a little more World War I than 2. So
Yeah.
not
anyways.
as much horse. Do we know who's hosting that yet and the talent on that? It's next Wednesday?
Yes, next Wednesday, 9:45 is our pre-show. Damon and Marty Sleva will be hosting. Yeah, and then so the Call of Duty is actually going to have their trailer, I think, revealed at 10, and then we're going to do a post-show and reveal analysis after from the show.
Cool.
Yeah.
So check that out, you guys, if you are into Call of Duty. That is all we have time for on Fireteam Chat, though. We just want to let you know about that exciting event that we're hosting. Thank you all so much for joining me, and thank you to everybody who listened. But until next time, Guardians out.